You said that. I'm gonna jump to the ACDC story.
Okay.
That's gonna be a nice little segue. So Brian Johnson just released a book today, as a matter of fact, and it's called The Lives of Brian,
Oh
and,
man.
and discusses his career and everything. But
Auto-
a big headline that came out of the this book and in his press that he's been doing is, a couple years back, he had to leave ACDC due to hearing issues and problems.
oh,
And Axl Rose stepped in and took his place, and they finished the tour with Axl, and
right.
nobody knew what the deal was. Was Axl now a permanent member of ACDC? What was going to happen? But Brian said he could not bring himself to see or hear Axl with ACDC. It hurt him so bad. He was so distraught over it that he actually contemplated suicide.
When something is a part of your identity, when you help to create something, and 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 you can't be a part of it because you physically can't be a part of it,
Hmm.
it that would hurt. I know what that's like. I know what that's like, and I'm not on that level, but I know what it's like. Because music is so personal. You're delivering something that was inside your soul to people.
Yeah.
It's the most vulnerable thing in the world, man, and you take ownership of that. It's part of your daily ritual, man. It's who you are. So when someone else is emoting your emotions
Hmm.
with your guys, that sucks. I can even imagine how painful that is. It's like, look, I've been fired from many bands in my life, especially as a kid, I was an asshole, and and you work hard at being with a group of guys or girls or mixed whatever, and it becomes a part of you, man. And you really, that's your brother, that's your family. You create family. I'm the oldest of three, and there's a big separation between age gap between me and my younger brothers. So I've always been trying to create family when I'm out, and that's what bands are. So they're your family now. So when someone else is with your family, and you're having a better time with them than you can because you can't be there, it's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt, man. I would think I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, and actually, as I was reading another story, actually, right before we went live, another story came across that I was reading, which I found very interesting, and I was kind of weirded out about it, and I would love to get your opinion on this as well. That Brian had said, those first few albums he made with ACDC, he wrote the lyrics for the songs. And he said management came to him in the 80s, the late 80s, and said he doesn't have to write the lyrics no more, that Angus and Malcolm will write the lyrics.
That makes no sense
Right?
unless his lyric writing became so like repetitive. Maybe he was repeating himself or something. I don't know, but I mean, hell's bells, man. You know, that's what's wrong with the business that used to be. You had people that weren't musicians trying to make decisions for the musicians, telling them
Right.
this is what we think you should be doing. Well, they're not the fucking guys producing it. You've got the band, and then you've got everybody around the band that it's always somebody telling you what you should be doing. They know better than you. There's armchair singers left and right, armchair guitar players left and right. Everybody knows what you should be doing more than you. That's just the way
Mhm.
it is. It's always going to be like that. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? Your art is writing these really personal lyrics, and you've written something that sells a zillion fucking copies, and someone's saying
Yeah.
you can't do that anymore. I would have shot somebody. I would have fucking shot them motherfuckers, man.
So the question I want to know though is the fact that management came to him. It sounded like management came to him by himself, like Angus and Malcolm were not in this conversation. So do you think it was more management's doing than actually the band's doing?
I don't know the inner workings. Some
Right.
sometimes there are situations where the band members don't want to be the one to break the news to someone.
Mm.
Can you yeah, do me a favor, go tell Ray that because we don't want to tell him, man, but tell him he can't write lyrics anymore because we want to write them. Because
Right.
we want publishing. We don't. He's good. He's done his part. Just tell him he can go chill and You should be happy just singing. Now, some dudes it's a chore to write lyrics.
Yeah.
And some guys have an easy time with it. So if
Mm-hmm.
it's a chore, you can almost be like, oh, I don't have to do it anymore. But when you don't do that, your soul gets taken out of things.
Mm-hmm.
You're emoting someone else's stuff. Now, unless you're really tight with that person and they know you, they know how you sing, how you talk, what your vernacular is like, and they can write for you in your style. That's different. Because I've been in that situation. That I'm cool with that. I don't have to be like, this is me on a plate. You must use it. If someone writes better than me, I'll fucking use it. I'm not a poet, and I don't know if Brian Johnson is a poet or anything, but I mean, he writes cool stuff. I can't even imagine that kind of weight when you're that established.
Yeah.
You can't. Fuck that. I don't know if it was. I'm sure the management had to be scumbags to tell him that in the first place. I mean, what kind of I've had good luck with managers. I've had some bad luck with managers.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody that leeches off a band one way or another is going to have their say and have their day. They're going to just keep pushing it. There's so many fucking leeches, in the business. So maybe it's good the business changed, because it's corrupt. You ever read Hitman?
No.
It talks about the old days. I was basically like, you had the mafia involved in
Right.
the business and shit like that. And it's all well behaved now, it's all well behaved thing. It's just different. You don't cuss and drink and smoke anymore. That on stage you work out, you be healthy. There's so many different things that are just you can't track anymore, man. But go back to it. Someone telling me I can't write for a band anymore when I can, go fuck yourself. I would have thought to fire him.